Hi guys, Berry Babe checking in. Today I broke into the 140s. Yay! 149.6, I think. And that reminds me, I forgot to do my HCG. I do sublingual, so I do it twice a day. And since I've been pretty much humming, which means not super effort, not white knuckling much, I forget. You know, there was a time where it was like, oh, I'm out of bed. Okay, go. Do it, do it, do it. And now it's like, oh, I took it really, really late last night, so I need to take it later this morning. Anyway, I'm back in the 140s, feeling so much better. Starting, you know, my hip bones and my ribs are starting to be very evident when I'm in bed. And I'm starting to lose the sausage that sits over my waist even when I'm naked. I am starting to see how much skin there still is below my waist. I had a back lift and that took up from the waist up. If I'd had a 360 before, that would have pulled up that back. But I didn't have that. My surgeon wasn't doing it, and I really didn't even know about it way back then. So my insurance covered part of the tummy tuck part, and then I had the vertical as well, and I had to pay extra for that. So what's going on? Still working on trying to get the burro ready, and I've been cooking up a storm in my air fryer, trying really hard to, as I try new keto recipes, then do them in my air fryer so that I can convince myself I don't need to take a little oven. We've gotten a little refrigerator. It's the same one. It's an apartment size. It's 3.1 cubic. It's got a refrigerator on the bottom, a little freezer on the top, and it just runs on 110 because during every day I will be at a campground with a plug-in. And on the way down from Michigan to Florida, it's going to be cold enough that probably if I chill everything beforehand, I'll be able to just plug it in when I get there. My husband says, oh, you have to let them sit for 24 hours. Well, I got online and it said if it's been on its side, let it sit for as long as it's been on its side upright. And mine's going to be bouncing around, but it's going to be upright. So I should be okay plugging it in when I get there. I still want to look into getting a converter to see if I can run it inside trailer on a battery. But since we don't really know how the battery is hooked up, that's going to be tricky. Also, my husband says we think there are little pinhole holes in the fiberglass, which will be not good. I'm hoping that it's just condensation. When you have a warm, they've had the heater going inside. When you have warm inside and cooler outside, and it was also raining that day, you can get condensation, and just like in a shower, if you get too much condensation, it'll drip. Our friend was in there and he got dripped on, so we don't know whether there's a pinhole or whether it's just condensation. The shell on my little trailer is fiberglass on the outside and then fiberglass on the inside, and there's a seam along the top that has a coping over it, or I don't know what they call that. And any parts along there could leak. It's hard to think that you'd have a pinhole in the gel coat, but that there's a middle strip where the four pieces come together, that there is no gel coat over that. I had Naugahyde over that before, but that's down now, so the fiberglass is exposed. So that's where we are with that. We figured out the bed. We're going to IKEA today to see what they have. I've been watching people in their vans with all kinds of racks and knickknacks for storage, and I have a place over my little burner location that I have room to put something on the wall, but I have to be careful because I don't want it banging and banging and banging against the fiberglass, because it's all fiberglass inside and outside. My plans for Florida may be changing a little bit, so I've been talking to one of my friends that had originally talked about going down to Florida for a couple of months, maybe coming down to meet me. She's excited. We don't know where that's going to go. So pretty much most of my focus is on Thanksgiving coming. I would love to be 145 by Thanksgiving. I did eat some carbs yesterday, and I did not lose as much as I was anticipating. So the problem is when I don't do carbs for a couple of days, then I get into ketosis, and then when I do eat carbs, it tends to make the weight stall or go back up. And I know I shouldn't have done it, but, you know, I'm not frantic desperate right now. After Christmas, I'll be frantic desperate. But I like the way I'm feeling, and I need to remember. And now I need to tell myself, you know, if you put on fat, you're an old lady, and it's going to go right around your middle, and the last thing you want is it hanging over your waistband. That may be the one thing that'll keep me from indulging. You know, getting bigger all over, it didn't ever faze me. But now that I'm fine-tuned to the point where I can really see it, I mean, like it literally just sits right in the middle. I still am having issues with, I'm from my waist up fairly smooth. He was able to pull that skin up with my back lift, but I still have then from the waist down, because I didn't get the 360, I've got rolls and bumps, and so it's hard to keep my pants up. They make all the pants just below the waist, but I have to wear them at my waist. So I'm always pulling them up in the back, and I could never figure out, because I don't have a butt. I don't have any butt. Why my pants fell down all the time? Well, it's because I don't have a waist. I'm just like this, and or even like this in the back, and so when I pull my pants up over that, the minute I move, it drips down below that. Anyway, you can see winter's coming. Today is, it's a week till Thanksgiving, and my husband drove 40 pounds of gizzards to the location where we're having dinner. I'm not a gizzard person, but most everybody else in the family loves gizzards, especially when they're cornmealed and fried. My husband was going to try and work with pork rinds. Grandma DC, if you're listening, he wanted to put pork rinds on his, what was it he was going to put it on? His, I don't even remember. Something he was going to put it on. I said I wanted to try pork rinds on pork chops, because then would it taste like shake and bake? Because if you can't coat those babies with a lot of sugar barbecue sauce so that the fat turns black and it caramelizes, it's not worth it. Pork is boring. So and because of my pouch from my RNY, shredded pork meat, white meat chicken, very challenging. It gets down in that pouch, and if it doesn't get stuck, it just stays and stays and stays. And so if you want to eat anything else, you know, I'm not unusual in the past that if I had like ribs and I had other food, I would end up overfilling, and then I would end up losing it. So trying to think if there's anything else. Really not. I got a boring life going on here. Little drama going on for my daughter and her job, but I expect that will even out. Haven't heard much from the other daughter, so I'm assuming she's hanging in there. You know, it's a retiree's life. I'm waiting to get to where it's warm. I was out in the rain yesterday. Had to go to HCG Boutiques. I have to go. Even though I have too many clothes, I still have to go. It keeps me from spending $30, $40, $50. You know, I come away with 8, 10, and then sometimes I wear it. A couple of the things I wear now, like the blouse I have on today, I love. I wear it all the time. It's a Jones New York. It fits me well. Colors are good. It's my Royal. And so hey, more and more I'm seeing things that have come from stores that have never been worn or look like they've never been worn. And then there's some stuff. There's a teeny bopper stuff. I'll see a design I like on a shirt and I'll pull it out and it would cover maybe, now that the girls have been lifted, maybe cover under my breasts. And I was talking to another woman of age who was across from me looking, and I said, you know, sometimes I pull out something and it's like, oh, and so many times it's like it'll have elastic around the waist. I don't like that. I had a big apron to cover for so long that I just feel more comfortable with it down, you know. I may have to go to blousey around my waist or around my hips if my top gets too big with my implants, but then I don't know what I'm doing with that either. I'm on again, off again with that. I want them even, and as long as I'm going even, I might as well go up. But I'm on a implant Facebook group, and most of them are young girls, and some of them want big and they want obviously fake. And I've done the carrying around the bowling balls. I don't want that. So, but I do still have a lot around my middle, even though, you know, when I get to 140, they tell me I have no extra fat. There's still skin that puddles there, and I don't need to draw any extra attention to that. And I completely forgot where I was going with that. So anyway, hello to my friends. Hope all is well. One of these days we're gonna have snow. No. The dogs are being a pain in the butt. My husband's starting to get a little tired of it too. They're getting older, and just like us, they get a little cranky. They were barking at midnight, 12:30 last night. So just that hound, woo, 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 and they're calling. They want you to. So I let them out to the bathroom twice. And we have woods, a little bit of woods behind us, and we get animals out there. But they weren't acting like there was something out there they wanted to go look at. But they definitely didn't want to go to bed. But he's been gone, and I don't pay much attention to him. And so they've been lonesome. So it's like, get up and play with us. No, I don't think so. Now I'm just rambling. So that is all for now. I'm doing okay. HCG, I don't know what day it is. I don't think any of my breaks have been long enough. You know, I've been on it a long time this time. And I don't think I've had any break that would constitute more than a 2-week interruption. So I wouldn't have to wait the 23 days in order to transfer to P3. Because P3 is pretty much what I'm doing now. So for you DSers, high fat can be a challenge. Let me say that. With my pouch, I can't consume huge amounts because cheese, eating a lot of cheese can be very filling, and you tend to get bound up when you eat cheese, but not when you've had a DS. It's just kind of like, hello. So now we say goodbye.